Hi, how are you doing? I'm gonna try to record a video. The lighting, oh, the lighting actually looks okay. At first I was like, the lighting looks really bad and da 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 da, so like, don't attack me for it. But I also realized that, I don't know, I had some old like body oil thing and it just spilled like everywhere. It's not a body oil, it's like some bath cream, blah blah blah. And somehow, some way, some which way you spin it, it like exploded everywhere. There's quite a few things that I've been wanting to talk about in general. First of all, I know that YouTube, whatever, in like more than what, 5 years, 4 or 5 years? It's been quite a while since I posted anything on my channel. Commentary slash like book review thing. And I want to say that I've been through so many phases of my life when I look through videos. Sometimes where I'm just like, wow, that was when I still lived in this apartment. That was when I still like was in high school. That was when like we lived in this apartment and that apartment. And like now I've been through like, I got a cat, I got a second cat. I have always talked about on this channel how like I am just not really all that good at being consistent. Like that's not my thing. That's never been my thing, is posting consistently. So, but I don't know if I can necessarily like be like, let's all celebrate me coming back, because I don't know if I'm going to be consistent. I cannot make promises. I don't want to make promises to you that I can't keep. I also like to be late to trends and like talk about things way past when it doesn't even matter anymore. And so that's what's going to be happening today as per usual. But anyway, let's get this show on the road, right? There's some things that I feel like I have some rather unpopular opinions about. Haw, surprise, surprise, a YouTuber with unpopular opinions, haw. I have some rather unpopular opinions about some stuff. And today, I kind of want to talk about some of that stuff. Overconsumption trend that I've been noticing. And I don't know really how to put this nicely, so bear with me because I'm probably not. But there has been a trend, or a genre, I guess you could call it, of what can you even call it? A genre of influencing that has popped up over the last year or two, where people are like really poor. People can't afford things, right? And influencers tend to have, or at least tend to present them having a lavish lifestyle, buying crap, da 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 da, when newsflash, in reality, a lot of these influencers are poor. Same thing with a lot of like really up there celebrities. Like a lot of the people you would assume are super duper wealthy, rich, are actually not. But you see, you know, the fancy cars, and you see the luxury blah blah blah, and them buying all the clothes and da 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 da, that people are now convinced, okay, well, this person is rich, when in reality they're struggling just like everybody else. Incomes, I want to say today's day and age, I want to say circa maybe 2014-ish, people started doing this like de-influencing Project Pan. We're not trying to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on bullshit anymore. We're really trying to save money because now I'm poor. And I'm gonna get into that. But it definitely had the mentality of like, well, now I'm poor, so I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money on bullshit anymore, right? The economy is on the downhill and like people can't afford stuff and da 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 da. I do feel weird about the concept of, well, now I'm poor, so like you have to kind of cater your content to the majority of what people are going through, which I have mixed feelings about. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer to that. I'm just saying that's like what I've been noticing in general, right? And so there's this concept of like, no, I don't want to see you and your like luxury haul of like Gucci, Dior, Louis Vuitton bullshit. No, I don't want you to see content of you essentially like flashing your wealth. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna really go over what I'm wearing because I have trouble multitasking when I'm like putting on makeup. But if you see me holding e.l.f., it's because I bought this shit a long time ago And instead of throwing it out, I'm going through it, okay? I used to get Elf a lot because it was affordable. And I'm not saying it's not affordable anymore. But you know, they got all like canceled and shit. So this whole concept of I don't really want to see you like flaunting your wealth anymore. People are kind of over it. People were sick of it because surprise, surprise, now I'm poor. So like now it's a problem. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, I have noticed that, and I'm trying to keep shit over here, but I don't have my glasses on. So also y'all bear with me. But my whole thing is this, that's fine, right? Like you don't really want to see that kind of content anymore, which I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. But really, let's think about like, why was this content okay to consume when we were doing financially better in life? And now that we're all a little bit more on the collective side, not doing well, like the economy is terrible. Everybody is just kind of like, yeah, fuck luxury content. We don't want to see it. This content is lazy, da 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 da. Which I had been saying this for years. And when I say I was saying it, I mean to say like I was kind of saying it like to my friends and in comment sections and da 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 da. It wasn't necessarily like PSA YouTube video hole, you know. But anyways, so enter in the concept of like de-influencing and overconsumption, right? And so a lot of this content that TikTokers, YouTubers, influencers as a whole will post is this concept of like, oh my God, you don't need to buy this thing, right? And to be fair, I've always said, and I will continue to say, I really just don't know how much I subscribe to the concept of de-influencing as a whole, right? Yes, I don't think it's a bad thing to necessarily like tell people and warn people like, hey, this is just a hype product. You guys don't need it. This thing is being shoved in your face a lot. Walk, don't run, da 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 da, and all the marketing tactics that people try on consumers to continuously buy crap that they don't need in our American capitalistic society, right? And I'm not, I'm just saying American society just because we tend to consume a lot more than other countries. But this can apply to whoever it can apply to, right? That being said, I just don't know how I feel about it because honestly, de-influencing someone is still influencing someone. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're telling someone, don't buy this thing, right? You are now not buying it because I told you not to buy it, which is still influencing someone. Like that's still, do you get what I mean? And so that's part of the reason why I was like, I don't know if I understand this trend, and I kind of just let it be because I'm like, sometimes some things are just not for me to understand, and that's okay. Oh baby, this is not my shade, but we're working with it anyway. Oh, we're working with it. It's not like terrible, awful, but this is like I want to say my summer shade versus like right now I'm like more wintry, so this is like slightly warmer than where I'm at right now, but I don't think it's egregious enough that like you can really tell. But I've been incorrect before because again, your girl does not have her glasses, and so everyone was kind of like making this content, and I was like, I really don't understand because I feel like de-influencing is still influencing, right? Like you're still influencing people to not buy or to buy something, right? Like, and granted, I think that a lot of people, and this is where I start to be an asshole, right? But in my humble opinion, I kind of do feel like a lot of these people who make these de-influencing videos will try to be like, oh, well, I'm doing such a good thing. I'm helping people, ha la 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 la, which may be true. I'm not even going to argue against that point necessarily. Well, yes, I am. But I'll give you that. But I do feel like there's something to be said where, I don't know how to say this. If you're at a point of your life where you have such a deep-rooted shopping addiction that you need a random person on the internet to tell you to, hey, stop buying stuff, I would just go out on a limb, and I don't mean this to be rude. I don't mean this to be shady. I don't mean this to be a dickhead, but from the bottom of my heart, I think you need professional help instead of like listening to a random person on the internet. And that's me being honest. Like, a lot of times I think we're so brain rotted, for lack of a better term, that they forget that essentially we are all just strangers on the internet, right? To each other. Don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of times where I have seen amazing content, but I don't know if I jive with the whole like, yeah, I'm helping people. Because, baby, if you truly have that big of an issue with shopping and you have that strong of a shopping addiction, you should probably be seeking a professional. Like, you need to be talking to a therapist, you know, a professional who can help you with your addiction, not just being like, oh, I can subscribe to some YouTuber and they're going to help me with my financial issues. Baby, if you're having financial issues like that, something deeper rooted is happening. And I get it, like, everyone's trying to make their bag. Go ahead and get your bag however you get it when it comes to like these influencer YouTubers or whatever. I keep saying YouTubers because I watch a lot of YouTube, but I also do acknowledge that, like, hey, they are also on like TikTok and Instagram and da 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 da, right? I do still acknowledge that. I do. I promise you I do. My whole thing is like, at what point are you just profiting off of people who have addictions? You get what I'm saying? And that's where, like, I feel like I start to lose the plot even more than before, right? Like, we've gone from, oh my God, we don't want to, we're trying to get people to stop over consuming. And I'm being Captain Save-A-Ho by like letting everyone know. But it's like, baby, these are people who probably like truly from the bottom of their hearts have shopping addictions. And don't get me wrong, if you're sitting here like, but I don't, but, then I'm not talking to you, baby. You know, I'm not trying to be a dickhead, but go ahead and call me a dickhead today. But like, I'm not talking to you, right? You have this concept of like influencers who are still influencing by de-influencing, and it doesn't make sense to me, right? And you have the Project Pan. I don't really have an issue with the Project Pan stuff. Like, go off, do you? But also, I have an issue with now. What I do also have an issue with is the whole concept of oh my God, what is it? I don't know if I want to do bronzer, because every time I do bronzer, people are like, oh, you look so good. You look so good. But like, I feel like I just have a 5 o'clock shadow whenever I do it. But this is also like Juvia's Place bronzer. And honestly, girl, I just feel like I know a little goes a long way, but I truly feel like, I don't know if I'm like a bronzer girly. I'm kind of like a no makeup type of girly. Like, I wear just enough makeup for you to be able to tell that I'm wearing makeup. Like, I don't want it to be like, you can't tell. Like, you know, I don't mind if people can tell. But I also don't like having a lot. We have the like overconsumption people, right? Where it's like, why are you buying every bottle of body wash from a certain brand in like every scent that they have, right? So for example, I don't fucking know, EOS, because I have EOS right here in front of me. I have their lotion and their body wash in the vanilla cashmere. I really like the vanilla cashmere right now. That's what I'm going through, right? And so that's fine. But I've seen people that have like vanilla, like the EOS in like every scent, and it's like 9 to 10 cents. And it's like they have all of them in the rainbow colors. And I'm like, you don't need all that, right? So I definitely do understand, especially when it comes to like the restocking videos, the cleaning videos, the beauty videos, the everything like shower videos and shit. I definitely see like where they're coming from, because truly this shit is excessive. This shit is very, very excessive. I'm not even going to argue against that. It's excessive. I keep forgetting that this doesn't have a mirror. But do you guys, do you understand where I'm coming from? Where it's just like, what the fuck? You know? Where I'm just kind of like, I feel like we are just, what are we doing? You know? And I bring all this up because everybody was like, oh, you know, the like PR packages is too much. It's excessive. Da 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 da. Which I agree. Don't get me wrong. I fully agree. My other thing is this: is that I've seen some incidences where I just felt like people were being very hypocritical for lack of a better term, about the whole like overconsumption, because it definitely feels like, especially like wastefulness. Like the conversation was about overconsumption and wastefulness, technically, right? And so I kind of don't really understand the perspective of like influencers get too much in PR, but when we're pissed off, everything is okay, right? And I'll give you an example. There was this black woman. I believe she was about big, like Patrick Ta fan, right? And at the time when he came out with those, what are those? Those duo chrome, whatever it was, with the pearlescent bullshit in there. When that came out and he was getting canceled over that, she kind of came out and was like, he's not paying us properly, he's underpaying us. But in the video, she's like snapping and breaking like all of the makeup that she got from him and like that she bought from him and like throwing it in the garbage. And I'm like, hey, that's wasteful. And everybody was like, well, she can do that because she's entitled to, and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, but when we want to have these conversations about being wasteful, right? When we want to have these conversations about being wasteful and overconsumption and stuff like that, we're constantly talking about how we're adding waste to landfills. And I get it. To be fair, we should be holding the businesses that are producing this shit accountable versus putting it on an individual level and like trying to be like, we can all do it together, because obviously like that doesn't work. A business will always overconsumption and stuff like that. We're constantly talking about how we're adding waste to landfills. And I get it. To be fair, we should be holding the businesses that are producing this shit accountable versus putting it on an individual level and like trying to be like, we can all do it together, because obviously like that doesn't work. A business will always like produce 20 times more waste than any one household will, right? And so there does need to be some personal accountability for these businesses and these brands, instead of just passing it off to the consumer. Like, we should be holding them accountable. That I understand. I follow you. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people had the mentality of like, well, she can do that because she spent her money on it. And I'm like, okay, but again, it definitely does feel very rules for thee, but not for me. Like, it's a problem when brands do it, but when I do it, it's okay. And so I was a little bit disappointed in some of the influencers that were kind of giving this person a free pass. And then also the people that were trying to be like, oh, well, you guys are just trying to distract from the conversation and da 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 da. And it's like, we can be focused on two things at once, right? Like, I can sympathize with her because she's being undervalued and underpaid by a brand, while also calling her out for wasting product. Because why the fuck are you doing that? And I get it, you're upset, you're angry in the moment, but like, it just felt so disappointing to see people rah about being environmentally friendly and like not hurting the environment. But when the time comes, because we're pissed off that we're not getting paid the way we should be getting paid from a brand, all of a sudden all bets are off and we're just gonna create more waste for no fucking reason. Side eye. And I'm side eyeing everyone that encourages that behavior. That is not okay. I've seen other brands that influencers have promoted, and to be fair, it's not all of them. I'm not going to name names because I don't have the desire to do that, to be fair, right now. But more power to you. If you're curious, I'm sure you can find them. But here's my whole thing. I have to figure out what blush I want. I love her. I love orange blush. I am an orange blush bitch. There's a brand and I forget it. I think it's called Flower Nose. If I find it, I'm going to put screenshots of it. Beautiful brand. It's a makeup brand. I believe it's Chinese owned. And every time I see people promoting it, they're like, oh, look at it. And to be fair, I think, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. It comes across as a very like white, pale white brand. Because all of their stuff is so sheer and it barely shows up on pale skin that I'm just like, that clearly is not the brand for my dark-skinned ass, to be fully transparent with you, right? So I never really paid them much mind. But they kind of do this like croquette, like princess sort of vibes, right? And a lot of it is like a lot of plastic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be very transparent with you. A lot of it is like very much so, oh, it's like plastic, right? Like the products, like they have mirrors, they have lipsticks, they have blushes and stuff. And again, very cute. The packaging looks gorgeous. I personally wouldn't try it if you're like darker than a little bit tan, right? Because a lot of Asian like beauty brands like to do the whole like kind of like sheer look, right? It's like very sheer, very barely shows up on your skin. And so I was always kind of like, well, if it's not going to show up on their skin, baby, it's not showing up on mine. I know that they recently did some like more kind of like, it looks like more PR with darker skin girlies, but the girlies aren't all that darker skin. Anyway, I'm going on a whole tangent. I apologize. My point is that it's a lot of plastic, and not just the products, but baby, the packaging. If you buy a full collection, and I've seen their own PR packages where like influencers like are opening up these PR packages, it's huge. It's a lot of cardboard and it's a lot of plastic. I think I got a little bit too happy with this blush, but I don't give a damn. But right, like it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Hold on, let me see if I can calm down with the blush just a little bit with this brush. But it's a lot of plastic and it's a lot of cardboard. I wish I could insert maybe some screenshots or pictures or videos of people doing unboxings. Brand, if I find some, I'll try to like see if I can insert it and like censor. Like, I don't want to call out any influencers right now. If I find some, I'll try to like see if I can insert it and like censor. Like, I don't want to call out any influencers right now. On my channel, I have never really had an issue with calling people out, but right now I'm just really like I'm not in the mood. And don't get me wrong, but I personally don't even really have an issue with the brand or anyone else that supports the brand, fucks with the brand, whatever, you do you, right? I don't understand how in one breath we can kind of promote a brand that clearly is wasteful, and then just being like, and there's been some instances where I've seen some comment sections where people are like, I really love this brand, but I wish it just wasn't so wasteful with the plastic. And like, some influencers will take the time to like acknowledge that and just be like, haha, yeah, I know they use a lot of like plastic and da 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 da, but they're kind of like, to me, and I hate to say it, it feels a little pandering, like you're acknowledging the issue, but you don't want to do anything to resolve the issue. And that to me feels like, what are we doing? You know, especially when it comes to like other brands, you're so quick to call out, you know, them being wasteful, but we're giving passes to other brands because their shit looks kind of cute. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm trying to get a shade like that's orangey so I can kind of make it look shiny, glittery, because that's what I really like. But I don't know if I have a shiny enough shade on this fair evening. Okay, I don't think I do, so I might leave it be. Oh, my face is itchy. Fuck. Fuck, my face is itchy. But do I see what I mean? Like, do I feel, am I crazy? Let me know what you think in the comments below, because I just feel like maybe like, oh, Brianna, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. But I truly genuinely feel as though, like, right, the influencer space is just so weird when it comes to de-influencing. And don't get me wrong, I definitely think that there's something to be said about the current environment we as Americans are in right now, okay? In terms of money and the economy and even like political stuff, which I don't think I have time to like really get into today, right? And it is what it is that I feel as though people are way too concerned with like, regardless of which like political spectrum you're on, there's so many people who are sitting here like, well, now this thing is affecting me, and so now I'm upset about it, and now we need to do something about it, right? Like, with all of this de-influencing stuff, it's kind of like, well, now I'm poor and now I can't afford things, so now this content is a problem, when really it's been a problem for a while. Y'all just didn't care. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about like audience members, because there needs to be some personal accountability for audience members and their bullshit, instead of just constantly blaming influencers. And don't get me wrong, I am not sticking up for any particular influencer at all. Like, girl, I have 100 subscribers. You know, like, I'm the last person to really defend anyone, but like also where's our personal accountability? Because the next trend that's really happening lately is the whole like, oh, I'm so tired of influencers. I'm tired of the same thing. Da 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 da. And it's like, okay, I don't blame you, right? Like influencers, especially on TikTok, have been like, but I just feel like, right, like everyone's kind of like, we're tired of influencers. We're tired of them flaunting. We're tired of them constantly selling stuff. Like, I'm so tired of influencers trying to sell me stuff. Okay, fine. That's great. I don't even necessarily disagree with you. But again, remember when I talked about, oh, now I'm poor, so now it's a problem, right? Because come pre-pandemic and even post-pandemic, it was perfectly fine and acceptable to watch all of these influencers brag about their lavish lifestyles, right? As long as you didn't throw parties or like, you know, try to go traveling when there was a whole global pandemic, a whole global shutdown there. People kind of ate that aspirational like lifestyle content up. Now it's no longer the cool thing to do, and people are like, well, we're sick of it. We're tired of people trying to sell us stuff. We're tired of people showing products to us, and that's fine. But on one hand, I would also implore people to maybe look a bit inward, because a lot of times I've seen some audience members complain about seeing the same things on their feed while they constantly watch the same thing over and over, right? Like, you're tired of said influencers, but baby, you are watching the same influencers over and over and over again. Like, if all you watch is lifestyle content and the same white girl influencers who do Pilates, who go to the same restaurants, who live in the same area, who all do the same things, and now you're like, well, I'm sick of it, but then you're continue to watch the same shit. Like, if you are tired, or if you see content that you don't necessarily like, then like you can block them. You could not watch them. You could, like, when you, and I get it, like, rage bait is a whole thing, right? So even when you don't like something, if you are liking, commenting, whatever, even if you're saying, I hate this is such a terrible thing, blah, 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 you're still teaching the algorithm of that platform that like you like this content and it's going to show you more of that, right? So even though you're complaining, saying, I'm so sick of XYZ type of influencers, but you're still watching those same kind of influencers, you're not really doing anything to help out your algorithm there, girly pop. But I definitely feel as though, like, there needs to be some personal accountability. Because, like I said, if you're watching the same fucking people all the time, then what are you doing? You know? We're complaining about stuff that's 100% in our control. I think I have to line my lips because this shit looks ugly. Fuck. This shit looks ugly by itself. Okay, I made mistakes, but I can fix this. Hold on, y'all. Because this shit looks crazy. I'm feeling like Bob the Drag Queen a little bit. When she wears those super, like, light colors on her lips. You know, I do think that there's some personal accountability that needs to be held towards audience members and curating what we want to see. Like, instead of constantly complaining, and usually I'm not this person that's like toxic positivity, but like, if you're going to complain about your own feed when you control what shows up on your feed, then like, I don't know what you want me to tell you, you know? And that's just me, because for me personally, if there's ever content that I don't want to see or I don't subscribe to, baby, I'm gonna block it. I'm gonna delete it. Like, there is an entire option on YouTube to be like, don't show me this content. Don't show me this channel. Don't do it. Right now, I've been having to block so many YouTubers because they are trying to use AI thumbnails. I'm not subscribing to you if you can't even be fucked to make a thumbnail yourself, all right? As someone who doesn't make thumbnails. Look, y'all, either you're gonna make a thumbnail or you're not. Ooh, my eyebrows are naturally like not lined up. Like, this one is a little bit higher than this one. And I always knew that, but whenever I do like my makeup, all I do is I make my eyebrows a little darker, and then I can see like one is a little bit higher than the other, which like naturally your eyebrows are not exactly, they're sisters, not twins. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're not exactly the same. But woo, baby, I feel like you could really see it. But yeah, I think myself included, it's probably time to do some internal investigations, you know, go ahead and do some self-reflections, figure out what you got to do to figure out how to get the content that you want to see. I can always suggest some people to look at in my comments and in my videos. I definitely curate what content that I see. And I'll be honest with y'all, I'm out of the loop because I don't look at a lot of like white beauty creators. I don't look at a lot of like beauty content in general, but I don't look at a lot of like white beauty creators. I'm also very, very particular about the black beauty creators that I look at because I don't really look at the luxury content. Like Jackie Aina, I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's wonderful. I don't look at her content because I just don't fuck with the like luxury, look at all my expensive shit all the time content, which not for me, you know? I listen to a lot of commentary videos. I look at a lot of commentary. I look at a lot of social commentary. That's what I like looking at. You can see where I'm like getting this from and where my channel kind of originates from. But yeah, I think it's time to kind of like, you know, if you got to write it down, journal it. We could do it together maybe where we just write down what content you don't want to see, what content you do want to see, and like try to make it happen. There's a thing I do with my friends every now and then where we go through who we're following, go through your subscriber list, and just be like, what's going on? Do I still want to follow this person? Do I want to still be subscribed to this person? When was the last time I looked at their stuff? What are they up to now, right? Do a purge if you have to and just be like, okay, I gotta find someone new. A lot of times I look at like gaming content too, and my gaming content, I myself have always said that I want to put more effort, and I'm kind of starting to do it, but it's really hard. I'm trying to put more effort into following more like girl gamers, women gamers, because the male gamers, I know gaming is like a male dominated field, but I really do want to be subscribed to more like people of color, more black women specifically playing games. This is a complete side tangent, but like women in gaming, some of y'all, all right, some of y'all, if y'all are watching, some of y'all do the like stupid, like, I'm gonna like describe what's going on and I'm gonna like scream and talk in this high-pitched ass voice. Please just be yourself. Like, stop trying to appeal to like the male gaze type shit with them squeaky ass voices. Stop it. That shit is so fucking annoying. Just be yourself. The whole thing with BookTube right now is that there's a kind of like a little bit, I don't want to say a mass exodus, but I have seen quite a few influencers, booktubers be like, especially the black ones, just be like, I'm leaving, I'm done. Because what happens a lot in this space is that people don't really subscribe to black, I didn't spritz my face, black booktubers as much as their white counterparts. And so a lot of times they have like a fifth of the subscriber count and following that their white counterparts do, which is whatever. But even I noticed when I first kind of like started out in the booktube space that it was getting pretty much like samey a lot. Like everyone was reading the same books and the same genres and the same shit, that I was kind of like, okay, let me make some books where, one, I wanted to get into reading more because I'm like, what is a book? But two, I wanted something else besides like dark romance and fantasy, and that well, at the time it was nothing but like fantasy. And like everybody was like, we don't want any romance. No romance, just fantasy. And like now people are like, well, okay, a little bit of fantasy is okay. And now it's nothing but romance and like dark romance, which to me is just code word for like the most toxic shit you'll ever read in your life, which I don't really subscribe to. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna read like 100 and something, 200, 300, 400, 500 pages of like abuse. I'm not doing that one. I've been bamboozled into reading some toxic shit before. Never again. I am not trusting TikTok ever again. Book Talk, count your motherfucking days. But anyways, right? So a lot of times these black booktubers are trying to do their things, reading their own books that feature like black protagonists, and a lot of times like they're not necessarily gaining the notoriety that they want, right? And that's fine, that's whatever. I personally am not the type of person that cares, but I understand that like feeling like you're putting a lot of effort into your content and not getting the notoriety for it can be a bit frustrating. I feel like a lot of, and because of this reason, like the only time a lot of booktubers were growing was when like another white YouTuber would kind of like shout them out, booktuber specifically, which like that's one thing, whatever, you know. But when y'all are only interested, and I say y'all loosely, but when non-black people are only interested in following black people during Black History Month or during the Black Lives Matter movement, that is not productive. And let me tell you why. Because a lot of these people that will come over when a white creator will be like, okay, it's Black History Month, let me find some like channels to promote. A lot of these people will subscribe and then disappear into the night, and they never watch another video. They never like comment or engage, or, and so now it's like, okay, well, you have like a certain number of followers and a certain number of subscribers or whatever, but they're not actually engaging in your content. So now it's like, okay, well, I have, I don't know, 150,000 subscribers, but my comments is only like 3K, 2K, 1K. I could see how that's very frustrating, because it's like, okay, I have all these subscribers, but they're not really fucking with my content. So it's kind of like, why are y'all here, right? That sort of performative activism bullshit, a lot of like black booktubers are calling it out, and they're like, we're leaving, we're gone, you know? And I hate to see a good thing go to waste, but at the same time, it's kind of like, what can you do or say to make them change their minds? Because so many people are just like, I just want this content. I just want to like subscribe to a black person because it's Black History Month, and I want to feel like I'm doing something and supporting without actually supporting. Stop that. Stop that post haste immediately. I can't imagine people doing that. And to be fair, I kind of like, when I was doing my channel, I was doing a lot of like literature reviews. And so I did kind of feel like, hey, a lot of people really are only here subscribed. Not everyone, but I felt like I was kind of getting a handful of subscribers that were just there because like they needed help with their homework. And I'm like, I'm not really here to help you with your homework, you know, like I'm here to have my channel. So I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I will say that again, I feel like a lot of folks need to, do I want to do this peach situation thing? If I want gloss rather than like shimmer. Oh, yes, ma'am. This is what I needed in my life. This is what I required. This is what I required. This is exactly what I needed. I think what we're getting tired of as a whole is that black people are just tired of like the fake support, you know? And definitely the performative like support of like, I'm gonna support this black creator, but only to make myself feel better, and then I'm gonna forget about them in like a week. You know, you get what I'm saying? Luckily, this has never happened to me, because I think I would feel rather upset if like people just subscribed to me because I was like black and it's Black History Month, and like you're not actually subscribing to me because you like my content. Like, you know, at least look at a few videos first and don't just blindly listen to whatever. Okay. So that's my video. Anyways, that's all I had time for today. I think I hit all my points. I'm gonna go ahead and record my second video just to get it out the way. And I only got 9 minutes left on this card, which is fucking crazy. So, if you like this video, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about like overconsumption and, you know, wasteful packaging and like influencers and people being sick of influencers and da 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 da. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dickhead in this situation, but I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I don't have a set schedule. I might disappear for several years again. But thank you for watching this video. Bye.